Hi, welcome to my channel Data BI for All. I have been looking around and I have found that a very common problem people are facing these days in Power BI models is to have a custom date table or a date dimension if it's not already available in your underlying data sources. So if you have a SQL database, probably you would be having already a date table which would have a consistent date dimension available. But if you have other data sources like flat files, if you have Excel files or other, unorganized data, then probably you would be lacking the date table. So it's very important for any visualization if you're planning to plot time intelligence uh, based visualization to have a date which is consistent over a period of time. Based upon your business requirements, we would today be attempting to create two different kinds of date tables. The first date table which we would be creating would be a very simple fixed date table where we would be having a start and end year. And the second date table which we would be creating would be the one which would be a little bit more advanced in terms like it would be having ability to be uh, I would say adaptive based upon the date column which you would be selecting. So let's try creating a very simple one. So as you can see, I am on the Power BI desktop and I can see a header option here. So from there, I would be going and creating a new table. So for that, I would be going to Home, and then I would be clicking on Modeling. Then I would be clicking on the option for New Table. So it would be giving me an option to write a DEC expression in the syntax formula bar. So it would open up, and here you can give a name which make more sense, say date custom as an example, or any name which fits your needs. And here I would use the function called calendar, which basically returns a table with one column of all the dates between the start and the end date of your choice. So I would utilize the auto suggest here and type in the date, which would be my start date. And I can start with a year, say 2017 as an example. Month would be 01 and day would be 01. So starting from there, and my end date I want to give is the say end of 2020 as an example. So I would start with 2020, give 12 as the month, and 31st as the last day of the year. And I would close the syntax. So it is a little bit wrong here. I should have written date here, and then it would be fine. So now you can see there is no error, and I click on the OK button here, which would basically process the table. And if we go to the data view and see, it has given me all the dates within that defined date range. So now I can have the option to change it to more of a date rather than a date and time. And then I can select the format, which format would be better for me. So I select say YYMMDD as an example. And from this particular date column, I can have the option of creating other custom columns. As an example, I want to extract year out of this. So I will type in year. I would say year of this date. It would extract uh, the year out of this date as an example. So it would give me year. In the same format, if I need to get the month number out of this, in a very similar way, I can extract the month number. So I would type in month number is equal to month. This is all the syntax which is already auto-suggested UVU, which is pretty cool feature in Power BI. And then I will take the date and it would extract automatically the month number out of this date. And it really doesn't help me, in many terms. Basically, people may, try to think, okay, which month does one represent or two represent? So, making it a little bit more user friendly, let's give month name and extract the month name. So it would be format. So this is basically convert the value into a text format. So I would take the date as my value, which I need to convert into a text. And then I will write MMM, which would extract the month name out of this. In my previous videos as well, I have also discussed how important it is to have the month name sorted by the month number. So if you're not aware how to do that, I will just quickly show you. So if you go to select the month name as the column and sort this column by month number, because month number is a whole number, so the visualization would be then sorted in the number, say starting 1 to 12, it would be Jan to December. So that's very important. And in a similar way, you can keep writing other functions here and calculate columns based upon, say, month. We have already got it. You can have quarter, you can have week, you can have day. So all these can be computed, so which you can do at your ease. And also, if you have any other problem, you can post a comment, and I would try to get that video uploaded for you guys. And as I promised, I would also be talking about having a date table which is more adaptive. So as an example here, if I go to my data view and see the sales data which I have, just randomly created, I have order date as an example, and this order date probably would be like dynamic because there would be orders coming every day, every hour, and this would be increasing, right? So this is dynamic, and probably I may have a cutoff where I am only importing data what the last 2 years. So as we would be progressing towards in future, uh, that date table which we have just created may become irrelevant. Actually, it will become irrelevant. So how to have a best practice to to have your date dimension adaptive to your order date in this example? That would bring us to create a adaptive custom or a virtual date table within the Power BI model. And for that, we just need to write a couple of code lines here uh, in the DAX index, and that should be it. Also, I would be posting the DAX formula in the description box of the video, so you can have it from there as well. So let's go to modeling, new table, and here we would be writing, say, adaptive date table. And I would start with giving a variable, say x, in this example, and I will extract the minimum of the order date in this. That would be by minimum order date. And then I would have variable y. I will extract the maximum date, which would be my highest or the maximum date in the order date. So even if it is moving forward, I my this date table would be capturing the minimum and the maximum, the boundaries of this order date, and then I would want to return with add columns. I would be adding columns and then filtering my date range based upon the calendar which I am generating, calendar auto, and then I would be filtering down my this particular date table which I have just generated through the calendar auto and restricting that through the filter that it should be greater than or equal to the x, which is my minimum, and my this date which I have just generated through calendar auto be less than the maximum date, which is y. Okay, and then I will close my expression here and another uh, expression to have it here, and then I would be adding as an example is to start with a year column. Okay, and this year column I would instruct to capture through the function year and taking the date from this, and then I would close my whole syntax, and then I will click on OK. And this would create an adaptive date table if you go back to the data view and click on adaptive date table. So you would see that based upon the data boundaries I have in the auto date, my table is now created. So as orders would be coming in future, say 2021, 2022, 2023, my adaptive date table is ready to accept any change.